So let's start this one off with some alliteration. The first time that Penis Head POTUS politically pissed off the polite population of Canada was back in 2018. And the Mango Menace was right in the middle of his first trade war, first tariff war with China. Now, let's jog our memories. Huawei, everybody remembers Huawei? Huawei was apparently trying to skirt the tariffs somehow, according to Trump. He decided that the skirting of his tariffs that they were doing were illegal. I have no idea whether they were or not. But when Huawei executive Meng Wanzhou, just give me a sec. When Huawei executive Wang Mengzhou landed in Vancouver in 2018, because of the extradition treaty that Canada and the States have with each other, Trump asked us to arrest Miss Zhou, and which we did because we were legally bound to do so, just like if one of your wanted criminals, one of our wanted criminals landed in your country, we would ask you to arrest them and return them to us. And you would be bound, legally bound to do so. Now, all well and good so far. Now this is the part that, if you Americans remember this at all, the part you may not have even heard about is that China, as a retaliation for Canadians' actions, arrested 2 Canadians in China. They were both named Michael. They were known as the Michaels in Canada. One was a low-level executive that worked with the Canadian and Chinese governments. The other, Michael, had a job in the tourist industry. I think he organized tours in China and stuff like that. These Michaels were taken by China. They were both put in a cell where the lights never went off. The lights were on 24/7. They were subjected to regular interrogations. The accusation was that they were spies, Canadian spies. On the flip side, Wang Mengzhou, I hope I'm saying that correctly, was arrested in Canada. She was given an ankle bracelet and spent 3 years in her Vancouver mansion. Well, the Michaels spent 3 years in their cell. As a Canadian, I spent 3 years thinking about the Michaels a little bit almost every day. Now, this was a bullshit charge. And the reason I can say that is because when Trump's term ended the first time and Biden was legally elected, the Canadian government shortly after released Meng Wanzhou, and on the very same day China released the Michaels. And I remember seeing pictures of her walking out of her home for the first time in 3 years like nothing had ever happened. And I remember seeing pictures of the Michaels coming off airplanes, landing in Canada, looking like literally shells of their former selves. So, if you're wondering when Canadians started to be angry with Donald Trump. It goes back a while. And what he's doing to this world is not right. What he's doing to your country is not right. So get out there, do something about it.